I'm Kier from In Defense Of, a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready, because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You have been granted clearance by Director Phil Coulson. Stand by for S.H.I.E.L.D. debriefing. All information to be discussed here is classified and may only be discussed among agents granted clearance by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Director.
Now it's time for your scheduled debriefing. I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
And I'm Agent Lauren.
Welcome to Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. This is podcast number 102, discussing Jessica Jones, Season 1, Episode 2, a.k.a. Crush Syndrome. This podcast is recorded on Wednesday, January 13th, 2016. Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a fan-based podcast on the ABC television show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agent Carter, Marvel's Daredevil, and Jessica Jones on Netflix, and the general Marvel comic universe.
Because of noisy upstairs neighbors and whatever noisy stuff they're doing up there.
If you would like to talk to us about noisy upstairs neighbors, you can visit our website, legendsofshield.com, where you'll find all of our contact information. We have a voicemail line, 844-THE-BUS-1. That's 844-843-2871. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube by searching for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. And we have forums available at forums.gonnageek.com, or if you use the Tapatalk app, you can search for us, Gonna Geek, all one word.
Today on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're going to be talking about our future giveaways. We're going to be talking about Jessica Jones, a.k.a. Crush Syndrome. We're going to be talking about the weekly and actually monthly Marvel news, because yes, that's how long we've been gone, and your feedback. So we have an upcoming giveaway going on. What is it, Haley?
Did we decide?
No, I mean, what are we going to be giving away?
Oh, we're giving away the newest Marvel crate to come out. It'll be a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of Christmassy themed one. I got mine in. It's got a lovely scarf in lieu of a t-shirt this month. And it's got little Groot and Rocket ornaments. And what else was there? Is there another Groot? I think there was another Groot.
Ooh.
You can't have too many Groots.
No,
that's not what it was. I got the Groot for Christmas. The other thing was a Star-Lord coffee mug.
Nice. Well, our anonymous donor happened to have some PayPal problems because apparently the Collector Corps has some PayPal issues. So I have been notified that the crate is on its way. So we will be giving it away, and it'll start next week. I might or might not have it next week. We'll see, but I will have it to give away. And if you have any inputs on what we should do in order for you to have fun and enter the contest to give it away, then let us know between now and next week. We will appreciate your feedback. And don't forget, Agent Carter starts pretty soon. So maybe something Agent Carter-y, that might be good. All right, we have Jessica Jones, a.k.a. Crush Syndrome. We've been waiting a long time to talk about this. Lauren, take her away.
Okay, so this was the second episode, obviously, because it's episode 2. But we get a little bit more into Jessica Jones and her relationship with Trish and how horrible Kilgrave is. And so just overall, what did y'all think of the episode?
You know, since it's been a long time, I watched it last week as we were getting ready to prep for the podcast that we didn't have, the non-episode 102 last week. And I remember not remembering the murder from the end of the first episode. I'm like, how could I not forget that? And it begins in the cop station and you're like, bam, right into it. You're like, oh my gosh, Kilgrave is such a dweeb. And I don't understand how she's going to get out of this and everything. And it just bam, it takes you there. And then she goes to see Luke, and then the whole thing with Trish. And I mean, it takes you from there into the episode. And it was a very good starting point again for us.
I don't think dweeb is the word I would use to describe Kilgrave.
It's not the word I would use.
Trying to be a little politically correct here, a little
PG-13.
Maybe tool bag.
Yeah.
I forgot about the second Luke Jessica thing from this season. From this episode. For some reason, I thought that was in the next episode. So when, first of all, we have that awesome fight scene where she feels guilty. She runs in. She's like, I have to save him. And he's just there. I love that fight scene, by the way. He's just kind of half-assedly kind of swatting everyone away while this rugby team is trying to take him down. And then they break the chair over his head, bottle over his head. I forget what it was, but he just kind of rolls his eyes. And then, of course, Jessica's there, like going all out, punching stuff. And then afterwards, he's like, you know what? I know what I saw. You know what you saw. And she's like, I don't know what I saw. And then, of course, abs of steel moment right there, literal abs of steel with the saw in his stomach. And then they have like all out superhero sex. And that was a thing that happened.
Yeah, it was the first superhero Marvel sex scene.
Well, technically last episode was. But this one they knew.
The first enthusiastic.
Yeah, the first enthusiastic one. This time they were like, oh, it's okay if we don't hold back. We're not going to break each other. Last time they were just like,
And kind of bored.
And this time they were just like, Okay.
Oh, the audio listeners are missing so much.
So the whole door thing as well. My sign was on the door. It was pretty cool.
I
had it made special.
And you don't know if you don't have. I did not go into this with a comic book background of Jessica Jones or Trish or Patty Walker, whatever you want to discuss there. And I did not understand the relationship between the two. And then going into this and seeing the two interact with each other, it was very difficult to figure out the first time around. But now that I've seen the whole series, going back and watching this, you're like, I get everything that's going on. It was well played, well written, and well executed.
The relationship is very different than in the comics. In the comics, well, first of all, Jessica was never taken in by anyone after her accident. And here, we find out later what the relationship is between her and Trish a little more in detail. But here, it's her and Trish, and they're very close. In the comics, it's her and Carol Danvers. But since we're going to be getting a Captain Marvel movie with Carol Danvers later on, obviously can't use her. So we got Trish Walker, who has her own comic right now. So everybody go check that out.
I have it.
Yes.
Issue number 1. It's available now.
Yes, it is. And I think I mentioned before, I really liked how they tied in the whole original incarnation of Patsy Walker as the heroine of a romance comic in the early days of Marvel, like in Timely Comics, I guess it still was. And how that was like her mother's thing, and how Trish here is like, no, that's not me. That was the things that she did. So yeah, you have those issues here on play, and you have these two who both had this really complicated, horrible childhood, and they have clung to each other out of this. And again, it's something that I'm really happy about, because you have this really interesting female friendship, and I'm just very happy.
Right. Well, this whole episode was a very good demonstration of the voiceover narrative by Jessica, because she was convincing herself to go it alone. She was convincing herself that Kilgrave was to blame and that she could beat him, but she had to find him. Because she was like, how did he survive? And she had to figure that out. And in the process, figured out a way to ultimately kill him. Mm-hmm. But that will develop as the next episodes go on. But that doctor really did not want to be involved.
No. Well, I mean, after any involvement with Kilgrave, would you want to come back and get drawn back in?
No, but I wouldn't be in the same city. I would have moved back to wherever he came from. I think it was India, or move across the country or something, I would have tried to get as far away as possible from him instead of just staying in New York. What's that about?
Maybe he had tenure.
No, he didn't, because he was teaching something absolutely different than he was an actual practicing doctor. And then he started teaching biology at a community college.
Yeah.
Maybe
Which I love that scene because it's in the middle of a lecture and it's like Chem 101. And then
I think it's a biology class and he's going over the test scores.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like mid-word, he just takes off. That would have made any of my classes like 100% more interesting if a professor just all of a sudden mid-lecture just dropped the chalk and ran. That would have been kind of great.
And FYI, go ahead.
Those students just stood there. They're like, okay, whatever.
Nobody's gonna take pictures. Nobody's gonna get up and be like, what happened?
I know. It's if you go back to Culver College or whatever that was with the Hulk, I mean, they got their phones out. They were videotaping right away. And nothing here? Come on.
Because that classroom was in the 70s. Nobody had cell phones.
A little time travel just to get in there,
that classroom looked a lot like some of the ones that I went to when I was in college. Of course, those classes were built like old. So
I was thinking, when the scores across the board in a class are really, really low, that's probably a reflection on the teacher more than the class.
Well, it could be both.
He could be one of those professors who's always like, well, nobody ever passes my class, and like takes pride in having these really high scores and like shaming their students. And then at the very end, grading on a curve so that, they don't actually get in trouble for failing all their students. Because I know a few of those.
Yeah, my organic chemistry professor had to go to special classes in the summer after teaching my class because we all did so poorly.
Oh, don't bring up organic chemistry. I have such bad memories of organic chemistry. I had nightmares from organic chemistry, like actual nightmares.
So what about the Wonder Twins? That gives me nightmares.
Okay. The first time I saw this episode, I was like, oh no, there's something like Lannister kinky going on here. But then after watching the series and coming back, I'm wondering, I mean, I know we're probably supposed to take that away at first glance. Do you what's the brother's name? Ben?
I don't remember. And we don't know it yet in the series anyway.
Yeah. But the brother, I'm wondering if he's like mentally ill or something developmentally disabled. And that's why she takes care of him and she's all like clingy to him. And she's like, she keeps emphasizing like, he can't survive without me. Maybe she's not smothering him. Maybe like she's legitimately like having to take care of him because he is unable to take care of himself very well.
Yeah, there is some of that. My younger sister is mentally handicapped, so we do have to take care of her, but we don't yell at her. We treat her with love and respect. And
but then again, she's terrible.
Yeah, she is.
So
even
she's not the hero of the show.
No, she is objectively terrible.
The Lannister, what did you call that?
Lannister kinky.
Lannister kinky.
Yeah.
The hashtag Lannister kink. That's great. I have to remember that. But that is going on up there, and apparently the boy he never wears pants because he's always without them.
Viva la revolución.
Also, was he wearing diapers when he answered the door?
I don't know. It looked like tidy whities, but
that's what I thought.
The first time I watched it, I was like, oh no, he's wearing diapers. And they're into like diaper play. And
Lannister kink.
Then the more I watched it, I'm like, oh, it's because he's like, developmentally disabled or something. And then going back and watching, I'm like, okay, is he wearing diapers? But then I felt really weird just like staring, and I'm like, I'm not going to go back and pause. I mean, I feel weird doing that. So.
Right. So we haven't discussed this at all, but the ambulance driver.
Oh,
I felt so sorry for, and then kill me. He wrote down kill me.
Okay. I want to get y'all's opinion on this because this was something that was brought up in a lot of the disabled activist communities online. When he was saying kill me, why did you think he was saying that?
he couldn't live the way he was, and knowing what first of all, knowing what he did, and he's probably ashamed by it, and that he caused everything to happen to him. But second of all, he was not living a normal life anymore. It's very hard to go from knowing you're normal to not being able to function like a normal person. And he had a stroke. He had to be hooked to a dialysis machine 24/7 because he didn't have one single kidney left. I mean, that's
Yeah, and also look at who his caretaker is. It's his mother, and she's not trying to help him live any sort of life. She's just locked him away in a room, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the first time I watched it. That was what I took away from it, the smothering mother. And I mean, at first I kind of barked out a laugh at that point because I was like, oh, because his mother's terrible. But after the show came out and a bunch of like the disabled activist communities, they were like, I didn't like this part because it was making it seem like if you have a disability, life isn't worth living anymore. And I personally, that wasn't what I took away from it. I could see how people would think that. But I kind of, like you said, SP, it is really, really hard to go from being completely able to not being able to do something you've been able to do just the day before. I have a spinal injury. I'm very familiar with that.
Right. And that's a better way to put it, too. Full capable or fully able to not fully able. That's probably a better way to do it. But in any event, that was creepy. And I remember the first time that I watched the series, I was having a difficult time watching it the first time around. Still am. I mean, it's very creeped out-ish, and they did an excellent job with the horror creep factor of the whole series. But the whole thing of the ambulance driver just being an invalid, basically, and not being able to do anything about it, and Kilgrave is the one who did it, and Kilgrave is still around, and he will continue to do that stuff. And then what you see at the end of the episode, when Kilgrave goes into his new apartment, or penthouse, or whatever you want to call that thing, he didn't have to be that way, and he was that way, and definitely the villain, very much so a villain.
What got me the most about the ambulance driver is he's in a profession where like the sole purpose of ambulance driver, EMS, anything like that, the sole purpose of that profession is to help people in need. And he went and just took such a horrible advantage of somebody who their sole purpose, all they were trying to do was, out there to help people. And because of that, and you see this over and over again with Kilgrave, you see this with him with Jessica, you see this with him with just a bunch of people throughout the series. Anytime somebody sticks their neck out to try to make things a little bit better for someone, Kilgrave just steps in there and takes advantage of that and makes things like a billion times worse. And this was just kind of one of the smaller, less flashy examples of that, because I mean, we don't have superheroes in everyday life, but we have EMS drivers. We have ambulance drivers. We have police officers. We have, just like all the people that Kilgrave messes with over the course of the show. And just, every time somebody, like the people in the apartment, it's just a family about to make dinner. And he goes in there and, I mean, we don't see what happens to them after. We can presume it's not good. But he tells the kids, oh, go in the closet. Kids should be seen and not heard. And the little girl wets herself in there because he's like, oh, just go in there. It'll be fine. And you can hear her crying. And again, it's horrible.
Right.
And it's just like on a really visceral level, too. He's a completely different type of villain than Kingpin. And just like, there is no sympathizing with him. He's awful.
Right. That's a great comparison. The whole thing with the mom and seeing the daughter or the kids going in the closet, the pantry, she's like, what, tried to say something about it. And then he just said, oh, it'll be fine. She said, oh, okay. It'll be fine. Like, oh, what a dick. What a douchebag.
Yeah. He's the worst.
He is. And there's going to be more of that as it goes along. We're definitely going to see it. But that's not the only thing going on in this episode. You have the whole thing with Jerry Hogarth and coming to the fact of representing hope through the episode as well. And that's really what Jessica is doing throughout the episode, and why she goes to the ambulance driver and why she finds the doctor is to really help Hope out and to get Kilgrave as well. But she knows Hope is not innocent. Hope, she just killed her parents and she was controlled and she's in jail and there's nothing she can do about it. And I guess she's hanging in as good as can be, but it's just a tragedy.
The actress who plays her, and I can't remember her name right now, but she does such a good job of just sounding just out of it and traumatized, and just, the whole part where she's talking to Jessica, and, the whole, she would tell me to jump as high as I could, but I was never as good as you. And, just that whole scene, just the way that she sounds like she's a million miles away. And then the only part where she really comes back to herself is when she's like, you should kill yourself. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get away from him.
Yeah.
Just,
wow.
Oh, that part was just horrible.
It
is. I love this show, but taken, you go back and you see all these little parts and you're like, oh no, but this is horrible, but it's a good show.
Yeah, it is so intertwined. There is so much meaning to it. Like the whole thing with Gina, right? So Jessica outs Gina when she goes back to Luke. And I think some of the rationale behind what she was doing comes out because Jessica knew that Gina was married. Luke did not. And so she let that out. And she even claimed, and we later find out it's not true, claimed that Gina's husband hired her, but she was looking out for Luke based on what is going to transpire. We can't get into that right now because we agreed no spoilers as we talk about this. And so you see the whole thing of what's going on with Gina, and Jessica's just trying to protect him. And it turns into some physical activity, but I don't think that's what her intent was to begin with.
I just thought she was covering her own ass by throwing Gina under the bus, which is kind of highly ironic. And I'm a horrible person.
That's a good one. And not that you're a horrible person, because
no, it's true.
We all know that you're the supervillain Lab Rat, and literally Lab Rat is the name of the supervillain here. For those new to the show, Lauren is a supervillain. Her name is Lab Rat. So there you go. Okay. There's a lot of other stuff going on in the episode as well, like Trish and her training room and her safe room.
Yeah. I still remember the first time I saw her arms all bruised up, I was thinking like, oh no. Up. Yeah. I was like, oh no, she's in some horrible abusive relationship. What's going on? Oh no. And then you find out, no, she's training for something. I'm like, is she trying to be a superhero? Is she like, what's going on with this? And I think, was this the episode where she tells Jessica, nobody puts their hands on me unless I want them to? Or was that
I don't remember.
Episode?
I don't know.
I watched it last week.
I haven't seen the last 12 minutes since the first time I watched it.
But yeah, when you realize like, she's training. Like, right. Okay, this is somebody who means business. Something happened to her. Like, people go into martial arts classes and stuff because, it's fun or to lose weight. But no, she's putting serious effort into this. And it's Krav Maga. And that is like...
messing around.
Not messing around at all.
It's going for the kill shot, yeah. So that was some fighting that we saw in there, and no, I would have died. I heard the gun click. Let's do it again. So she is really intent on protecting herself. And why is that at this point in time? Is it because of her mom? Is she scared of somebody on the street? I don't understand why she is so uptight about it.
In retrospect, the way I took it is that because of all the stuff that happened with her mom, she wants something that'll give her a sense of control. And being able to absolutely control everything going on around her physically, for her, that's what it is. And because you notice she's a control freak in the other aspects of her life too. Jessica points that out. She changes the font on the door and she's like, no, it's better this way. like people keep pointing out, she's like, I'm not a control freak. And then she changes like some other thing that somebody brought for her approval. Because she never had any control over her life when she was younger, now she just absolutely needs to have all this control in her life because that's how she feels safe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So on to something else as well. Jessica Jones really enunciates what she is doing as a private investigator, right? So she tracks down the ambulance driver, but also she gets the medical records from the hospital by using every single TV cliche, hospital cliche out there. So I caught ER. I caught
Dr. Carter's from ER.
Yeah.
Seattle Grace is from Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
Yeah.
There was probably a couple other things in there that I didn't catch. But
yeah, the first time I was watching, I was like, Dr. Carter, wait.
Yeah.
And Seattle Grace, I'm like, I know what that's for. Hey. So that was pretty fun.
Right. She said Dr. Carter, and I immediately went to what was that sci-fi one that he did? It's just escaping me right now. It was that bad. It was like 5 years. It was a sci-fi summer show on like TNT or something like that.
Oh, Falling Skies.
Falling Skies, yeah.
Yeah.
My mind went to Falling Skies. Like,
I watched like 2 episodes.
I
watched ER for so long. I was in a health and science magnet high school, so we used to have to watch it as part of our homework to try to learn medical terms. So I watched it for a really, really long time. I loved that show.
That's great. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Haley, what else did we miss? Because there's probably stuff that we missed. The fight at the bar. I mean, we talked about it before, but the actual fight was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like that it didn't look choreographed because these are not,
they're
trained
drunk guys.
fighters. Yeah, it's a bunch of people throwing each other around in a bar. Unlike what we saw in, Daredevil or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something all the time, where you've got trained fighter against trained fighter and they're using like moves and stuff. No, it's just brawling.
It's a bunch of drunk guys throwing stuff. Also, for some reason, it just tickled me that it was the rugby team.
Right.
Like, I don't know why that. Maybe it's because I'm here in Texas and it's like everybody plays football or soccer, but
no, rugby is a really big thing. Rugby and lacrosse are big things in college.
I did not know that lacrosse was a real sport until college.
Field hockey as well, by the way.
When I was in high school, I was in a club that we ended up getting banned from ever again putting on a pep rally because we put it off until the day before. And as part of our skit, we had somebody be murdered up in the stands, dragged them down and during a lightsaber fight, and then stabbed in the middle of the floor while we danced around his dead body. But we also made posters for teams that didn't exist and clubs that didn't exist, including the lacrosse team, because we saw it on like one of those 90 rom-com teen movies. And then I get to college. I'm like, this is an actual sport. What is this? How do you play it? What is the point? And I'm still not entirely sure, except it has nets. I don't like Scoopy hands. What is the point of lacrosse?
I'm sure somebody will explain it to you someday, but since this is not a college sports or a lacrosse podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about Marvel. Haley, what else did you have for the episode?
I guess I'll say this now. When we first saw Jessica watching Luke, I thought it seemed like she felt guilty about something. But then at this point in the show, when she said she was watching him because of the cheating wife, I guess I just bought it. I was like, well, I guess that's why she was watching him. That's kind of boring. I thought they were going to do something more interesting with it. And then towards the end of the episode, you see, okay, she wasn't watching him because of the cheating wife. I don't think they said why she was watching him yet.
No.
But
yeah, I had assumed at first that she was watching him because, she likes him. By the end of the episode, I was like, oh, she's watching because she thinks he has powers. And yeah, I don't know if I was slow catching on or what, because like, seriously, I got no sleep before these episodes came out. I was just so excited. So I might've been just slow.
No, they hit it very well. I don't know anybody that caught that right ahead. And, oh, by the way, just to cap off the lacrosse discussion, Boogity Boo in the chat said, all I know about lacrosse is what I learned watching Archer. So there you go.
Yeah, that's one of the. Like Archer brings it up, and I'm like, what even is lacrosse?
I don't know, but he went to camp for it.
Yeah.
Guys, we really need to get phrasing back.
I think they brought it up in like a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie, and I think that's where we heard about it.
Maybe.
I don't know. Was it She's All That? I don't know. Anyway,
I don't follow Freddie Prinze Jr. except for
actually he's been streaming on Twitch, and it's really funny because the other day he was playing Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer, and he's also the voice of the Iron Bull in the game. So every now and then he'd just start talking like the Iron Bull, and it was fantastic. So yeah, he's pretty great.
I own Wing Commander, and
you watch Rebels, don't you?
Yes, I do.
He's Kanan.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
Yes. So you do follow Freddie Prinze Jr.
I just didn't know it. Rebels is great. If you haven't picked that up yet, you should. Okay, one thing, Haley, before I turn it over to you that I remembered was that Jerry, you start to find out what a really bad person she is in this episode, because the whole thing going on with her wife and her legal secretary, whatever you want to call her. It's like, really? Anyway, it just, I like Carrie-Anne Moss. I really do, but I don't.
She's not a good person.
She's not a good person in this. And I really like seeing the tropes that are usually applied to, like, male lawyer being applied to Carrie-Anne Moss. It's really interesting to me. I dig that.
Right. So Haley, what else?
Mostly quotes.
Oh, you have some quotes. Let's go through some quotes.
Which I cannot say verbatim because of the type of podcast this is.
So we're going to have to some self-beeping.
Can I say the S word?
You can say shoot. It's one of the ones that you have to get beeped.
I don't give a bag of dicks what kinky shoot you're into. Just be into it quietly.
There you go.
Lady.
That was great.
Lady, you're a very perceptive a-hole.
That was great.
That was like my favorite line of the episode.
Because she was like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, there you go."
Trying so
she
hard
wants to like,
but then she's like,
"Go at her," but you're right, jerk.
I love that line.
Pretty cool.
And that's about it.
All right.
Everything else is sad.
So out of the first two episodes, Lauren, which one do you prefer, this one or the pilot?
I like this one.
Haley?
Of the first two.
I like this one too, but I like a lot of the later ones a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like this one because it didn't end up with Hope shooting her parents. That was a big mind frack.
That was a serious downer ending.
Yeah. All right. Well, next week we will not be touching upon Jessica Jones episode 3 because we'll have 2 hours of Agent Carter to go through. So be prepared to wait 2 weeks to go through Jessica Jones episode 3. All right. One last thing I'll say, it was directed by the director of the first episode, S.J. Clarkson, and it was written by Micah Schraff. So there is your directing writing team. Any last words on the episode? You guys good? All right, let's get on to some news. I really should ask Kier to make us a Jessica Jones bump because it's entirely different music than Daredevil, but we went with it because it's what I had on the soundboard. Okay.
I still dig it.
So there's a lot of news that has happened since December 7th, which was the last time we podcasted. It is now January 13th. So over a month. Sorry about that, folks, but It is what it is. So we're going to hit the high points. And the first high point, since we're first and foremost a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast, we're going to be talking about Marvel's Most Wanted.
So y'all remember how ABC was like, yeah, we're going to order another pilot. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe something with Lance Hunter and Mockingbird. And then we didn't hear anything about it for a while. And they're like, no, maybe not. Well, apparently, as of January 9th, We might be getting it after all, at least a pilot. They have gotten a green light to at least work on the pilot. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I'm a little on the fence about this. We've already seen how the universe has started to break down a little bit between television and Netflix and the big screen with the MCU. I don't know if we need another show in the Marvel universe. We already have Agent Carter. We have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They might or might not interface with the MCU anymore. They might or might not interface. What should we call the Netflix? The NetU? I don't know what to call it. But it's losing its interconnectivity. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I like the interconnectivity, though. And I'm not sure if I like this. Now, Adrienne Palicki, love her and want to see more of her. And as I said in the mid-season finale, I think she was not used well in the episodes leading up to that. So maybe this would be good, but I don't know. I guess, you take a look, you go to your comic book store, you take a look at the Marvel shelves. There's tons happening everywhere. I guess there's enough going on, but I don't know if there's enough viewership for it, especially with the DC comic book shows out there that are getting such great reviews.
Yeah. And, I don't know, like talking about it with my husband, we were like, on the one hand, the fact that if they split it in two, it could show that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be really focusing on the Inhumans and Secret Warriors aspect. But on the other hand, I don't want them to split it. I want them to keep it focused. I want them to devote all their attention to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and keep it, what it is. And then for their other show, Agent Carter has been doing really well. And it's fun, and it's a nice short show. They can get all their energy into that and then go back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Whereas I feel like if they were to divide their efforts, it might not go as well. And I'm worried about that.
Haley, what do you think?
I think this could work out well because I think having the cast is getting too big for them to focus on all the characters at this point. So I think giving some of the characters a different area to go and develop is probably a good thing. But like Lauren said, you're splitting your creative teams too. So I don't know.
That's a good point with the cast. And like I said, Adrienne Palicki wasn't used as well as she could have been. But then I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say what's going to go on with Grant Ward. Is he going to stay around? Are they going to kill him at the end of the season? I don't know. So Marvel hasn't steered us wrong yet, except for my issues with Jessica Jones, which are mine and my own. But other than that, I mean, it's a good story. So I can't say it's bad. I don't know. Could be getting a little too thin. We'll see. Okay, moving on. This other note came out, and it's ironic that we're talking about this week on January 1st. It is basically from an IO9 article and morning spoilers, but they were talking about the Agent Carter full synopsis of the show. Have you guys read the full synopsis yet?
Yeah, I did. And
what'd you think?
I'm really looking forward to it. The one thing that they didn't mention here, but I saw some teaser pictures on Tumblr, is what Jarvis will be doing the first couple episodes. And I'm really looking forward to that. I won't spoil it because it's hilarious. But yes, I'm really looking forward to the whole 1940s Hollywood stuff. One of the podcasts I've been listening to a lot lately is You Must Remember This. And it's all about old Hollywood. And I want to see Marvel's take on that, plus Spies. I really want to see that.
Yeah, Dottie's back, apparently, according to this article. So it's all going to be good. So, Haley, have you read it?
No, I didn't want spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really spoilers. It's just a full synopsis. So there you go.
Also, I forgot that Kurtwood Smith was going to be in it.
Right.
Yeah, the dad from that 70s show and a bunch of other stuff, but that's what I always remember him from.
I know it's going to be good. And he's going to be the station chief or whatever.
Yeah, I guess he's taking over for,
what's his name?
I always want to call him his character from Boardwalk Empire.
He jumped out the window.
He jumped out the window. Yes.
And with the bomb to explode
Yes.
outside, not in the building.
Yes. Ended up being a good guy, was initially a jerk.
Right. So
Lots of
good stuff. It's next week, right? It's next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Next
Yep.
Tuesday.
Two episodes.
All right. And another thing that came out just a week ago on January 7th was the Daredevil trailer, which had the I want to get into a deeper discussion about this because it had the release date for the Daredevil Netflix series in there. And there, previous to this coming out, there was leaked information that was going to come out March 25th, which was the Batman versus Superman release date. When this trailer came out, it was the week before. And I know a lot of people that were saying, I'm fine staying home and watching Netflix. I'll catch Batman versus Superman the next week.
That was my opinion.
Oh my gosh. And it was what I was going to do anyway, because I'm not excited to see Batman versus Superman.
Me either.
But I guess enough people were like that I don't know what kind of backdoor deal was made, but DC must have gone to Marvel.
Yeah, something happened. I don't know if that was all just rumors. I don't know if there was
somebody at Warner Brothers sacrificed a goat.
Yeah. Somebody traded their firstborn son to a goblin. I don't know. But now it's going to be March 18th, which is, it's nice because it means we get it a week earlier.
Right. Although I'll just announce it now. I will be at Chicago C2E2 and Gonna Geek is going to be doing some sort of panel there in the workshop room. We just don't know the date yet, but there will be several Gonna Geekers there. And we will be doing about a panel about everyday podcasting. So be prepared for more information about that. We will get a full official information out about that when the date is firmly set by the con organizers. We just don't have that date yet. So I will be there that weekend. And so I'm conflicted because I won't be able to watch it. So that means I'll probably have to wait a week. So I guess it was fine splitting it up with Jessica Jones. So I'm more excited about this though. Anyway, so the Daredevil trailer came out. It was awesome.
Oh, so good.
And it was, nobody can wait.
Yeah, I love the whole religious iconography, making it look like, the painted roof of a church, like a cathedral, like a Renaissance cathedral with scenes from last season. And then, of course, it pans away and you get the Punisher skull in the back, like in the nave of the church. Oh, it's so cool.
Haley, any thoughts about the trailer?
So I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I just described it to you, but you should watch it.
It's on the list.
I know.
All right. It's in the show notes if you haven't seen it already. Okay, we're going to move on to Ryan Coogler.
Yes. So we've been talking, okay, who's going to direct Black Panther? Who's going to direct Black Panther? Ryan Coogler, who directed Creed and who directed Fruitvale Station, is officially going to be directing Black Panther. Marvel has announced it on their site. It's no longer a rumor. It's official. And kind of funnily enough, I think it was Essence magazine yesterday said Ryan Coogler is going to be directing a movie about the Black Panthers. It's like, no, he's going to be directing a movie about, okay.
Oh, that sounds like something I would do. Okay.
But
yes.
Ryan Coogler right now, Creed has been really, really well regarded. I forget if he was nominated for a Golden Globe for Creed for Best Director, but I know this guy's younger than me, so I'm jealous. Like, he's had this awesome career and he's only 29?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how old was Steven Spielberg when he did E.T. and how old was Lucas when he did American Graffiti?
Oh, I don't know, but it's like all these youngins.
I think they were around 30-ish. Or Jaws, I guess, with Spielberg would probably be the bigger or Close Encounters or whatever. He was young back then.
in the day. But yeah, it's just like you youngins and your ambition, and I'm here like watching Netflix and knitting.
I don't have ambition.
Yes, we're hobby podcasters. We have no ambition. There you go. All right, so moving on to something else that is great is the Pop Funkos for the Civil War movie have been revealed.
Yes, they're adorable. So yeah, comicbook.com has a whole bunch of them. Oh, they're so cute. I really want like 4 or 5 of these. So like, yeah, some of these are spoilery. It's like, I don't care. Just give me all of them. They have like Cap. They have Black Widow in the first wave. Haha. They have Black Panther.
Finally.
With and without the mask. Scarlet Witch. Agent 13 special.
I know, I saw that. I'm like, oh, I gotta have it.
Yeah, there's Winter Soldier, which of course I'm going to have to get. It's Crossbones. We all knew who's going to be in it. Another Cap. This time it's like Action Cap. And then some of the Dorbs. The Dorbs are adorable, as you'd expect. I really want the Bucky one and Falcon. But yeah, they're very cute. And hey, they put 3 women in the first wave.
Haley, if you had to have anything, what would you go if you had to pick one?
I don't know, because I just got a whole slew of new Funkos for Christmas, so right. I'm not sure.
But you always said there's more room for. Yeah, there's more.
Yes, always room for more.
Just.
I still want a rogue one. I need a rogue, and they don't make a rogue.
They do.
Since when?
I swear I've seen Rogue.
I've seen custom Funko rogues, but they don't make a rogue Funko.
I could have sworn I've seen one.
You know, we could have.
I would have it.
Neil's wife make you one.
You're right. They're custom. Boo.
Exactly. Now, since we have not been on the air podcasting since early December, I went to the Mall of America after Star Wars came out, and I was in search of a BB-8. And the Mall of America, people, the biggest freaking mall in the country. It went all the way around, all 4 floors, looking for them. Couldn't find anything. Like, oh my gosh. So ended up going into the amusement park on the inside so the kids could ride rides. And there's a little store out there that had Pop Funkos. And guess what was there? Like 3 BB-8s. So I was like, oh yeah, I got a BB-8. So I got a BB-8. I got a Ray and I got a Poe.
I have a Poe and I have a Captain Phasma. And I need Finn, Ray, and BB-8. I
have a Captain Phasma that came in my Smuggler's Bounty or whatever. I'm so disappointed in Captain Phasma and how she was portrayed in the first movie. And she's better than that. Oh,
she'll be back.
I know. Little dented from the trash compactor, maybe.
Yeah, Scott and I were talking. We were like, you know what's going to happen? Her and the traitor stormtrooper, they're going to get drummed out of the First Order because they're like, you let them get away. They're going to end up becoming like an awesome bounty hunter team and just like go across the galaxy trying to like take out Finn. That's going to be awesome. It's totally what's going to happen.
There you go.
Who, by the way, his name is not TR8R. By the way, he is one of Finn's like little 4 pod buddies that he was raised with. And I forget his number, but it's actually all in the Before the Awakening young adults book that came out.
Who are you talking about?
The guy who's like, traitor!
Oh, Nines. Yeah. He goes by Nines.
Yeah. Like he has this whole backstory. Everybody on the internet's been calling him TR-8R.
Yeah, no, it's Nines.
I get it.
Yeah. Yes.
Traitor!
It's nice.
Yeah, right.
It's Nines.
Okay. So X-Men, we're going to transition over to that, and Legion has cast its lead.
Well, it's female lead. We have not actually cast David Haller yet. Dang so it. Legion, for those who don't know, is the mutant name of Professor X's son, who has a schizoid personality.
I thought his name started with a P.
No, it's David Haller. And
his other name. I didn't think it was Legion. I thought it was something else. Okay.
Proteus?
Yes, that.
No, that's in Ultimate.
Oh.
In Ultimate, he goes by Proteus. But here, like his name's Legion. And because he has he has schizophrenia, and so the writers thought it would be cool to name him Legion. But yeah, he's a really powerful mutant. He can't really control himself. Hey, and so they decided of the 2 X-Men shows that they want to do, this is going to be one of them. And the female lead was just cast, Rachel Keller. She was the star of Fargo season 2, which I still haven't watched yet. And she will be playing an optimistic, scrappy young lady in her 20s and may have powers that have to do with human touch, but they haven't released a character name or anything yet. So, and it's Noah Hawley, who actually worked on the Fargo TV series, like the creator of the Fargo TV series, who's working on it and like is the showrunner. So it could be good.
We'll definitely see. So also, since we last podcasted, the X-Men Apocalypse trailer came out. You ladies want to say anything about that?
Oscar Isaac, why that costume? It's tragic.
Okay, Haley.
But other than that, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. I saw it in front of Star Wars.
Yeah. I've seen Star Wars a few times, and every time it comes on, I'm like, but like popping up like a meerkat. But yeah, no, I cannot get over how Apocalypse looks. Everyone else, I'm like, I'm here for that. But Apocalypse still looks like something out of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And Oscar Isaac, I know that you're a nerd, and I know that you're a good actor, but that outfit is just terrible.
So on the Gonna Geek website, I put a blog post out there and said my 12 movies of 2016 that I'm most looking forward to, and 3 that I'm totally not looking forward to. This was my number 2 movie. Of course, number 1 was Star Wars Rogue One, but number 2 is X-Men, which is odd considering everything that's going on this year. But X-Men has proven itself lately with me, and unless this breaks the trend, this will be a really good movie to go see, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I think I'm looking forward to Deadpool more than this, but yes.
Which is the next thing that we're going to talk about. Did you see the Deadpool Boba Fett in the epic rap battle? Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was fun. If you haven't seen it,
just everything with Deadpool. Okay, did y'all see the Deadpool 12 Days of Christmas stuff?
Oh yeah, that stuff was going on too. That's right.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just everything. The way they are marketing Deadpool is just so brilliant. I love it so much. It's like, okay, they've got it right. They are doing this right. I feel very comfortable with this. So yeah.
Cajun Sean in the yeah.
I was gonna say the second time I went to go see Force Awakens, we went to a theater that had the cutout where you could sit on Santa Deadpool's lap. Nice. So of course we had to, do that and take pictures.
Before we get too far away from X-Men, I just want to say Cajun Sean in the chat said, I'm just going to wait for the X-Men Apocalypse Rogue cut to come out. So little jab at the previous movie as well. Aww. But to get back to Deadpool, did you see the billboard? Did you see it?
This masterpiece of a billboard.
Yes.
That is great.
The emoji billboard.
I don't know. Right. I don't know before mobile phones and the emojis if that billboard would have been fine to put out there. But since it's on every cell phone that every 8-year-old has, I think it's fine. Yeah.
I also love the one that's a little bit further down. It's trying to market it like a romantic comedy because Ryan Reynolds has been in just like a buttload of romantic comedies.
Yes, I like him. Oh,
this Valentine's Day, fall in love with Deadpool. We are going to see it for Valentine's Day because we have a tradition of seeing completely inappropriate movies for Valentine's Day.
I love For Love of the Game. It's not with Ryan Reynolds in it, but that's my biggest chick flick movie that I will agree to go see, For Love of the Game. But yeah, the proposal is really cool too. That's like my number 2. You know what movie I got in the mail today? I ordered it and came. Green Lantern, the extended cut.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh. Haley is totally dazed. Have you seen the Green Lantern, Haley, or is it on the list?
I don't think it's even on the list.
Okay.
The We Hate Movies episode about it is pretty fantastic. But yeah, I was so geared up for that movie, and then I saw it.
I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to have fun watching it.
If I had cable, I would probably watch it on cable, but I don't have cable, so I would have to make an effort to watch it, and I don't think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Just watch like Green Lantern First Flight instead. That one's worth it.
Yeah, that I've seen.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Or the Green Lantern animated series, which was great.
Haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh, it's so good.
See, I want to go back and watch all of Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And then I want to watch the Superman one because I don't think I ever watched it.
It was all right. Batman one was better.
Well,
Is there
obviously.
a Supergirl one that you should be watching too?
No, but she showed up in the Superman one, which is why.
Okay.
Yeah. I did watch.
Yeah,
I watched the Justice League series. Both of those are really good.
Oh, yeah.
That was a plug time for you, by the way. So just get out
Well,
with it.
I mean, I could go ahead and plug Like a Girl, my Supergirl podcast, but I haven't put out an episode in a while, so
Yeah, get on it. Okay, so something else that's awesome would be a Black Widow movie, and apparently the Russo brothers also agree.
What?
Yeah, so they were doing a Q&A session about Civil War, and during the course of one of the Q&A sessions, somebody was like, hey, would it be cool to give Black Widow her own movie? And they were like, hell yeah, which, by the way, was not paraphrasing.
No,
So,
that's exactly what
Yeah,
they said.
then they later went on to say, Anthony Russo went on to say, and we love Scarlet. And Joe Russo, who is directing an episode of Agent Carter this season, said, we find that the character is one of, if not the richest character in the Marvel Universe. A very complex character, haunted by demons, and her understanding of the world is fascinating. I think that there is a lot that can be done with the character. So why don't we have a Black Widow movie, Marvel?
I know. You know, I was listening to the latest edition of Audibly Exquisite, which is a podcast on the Gonna Geek Network, and the guys were talking about Hawkeye and the fact that, and they were talking about toys in general or whatever, and the fact that there's not a lot of female Marvel action toys out there. And they said, yeah, but there's even Hawkeye stuff out there, and nobody knew about Hawkeye before the Avengers. Now everybody thinks he's the greatest thing out there. So I agree. Scarlett needs her own movie. She's good enough to do it, and the character is good to do it. So let's get her done. Although, let me ask you ladies this. If you had a choice on which one was first, would you go with a Ms. Marvel or a Black Widow solo movie first?
I would go with Black Widow because she's been in the universe longer.
Yeah, the Black Widow movie should have happened like 2 years ago.
I agree. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully we'll get to that. Any last news items as we move into feedback? Anything, Haley?
I don't think so.
All right, let's keep going. Woohoo! We're going to get into some feedback, and we're going to get some chat feedback right now because DMB6580 in the chat said, I can't wait to see Spider-Man in Captain America. Yes, that is going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. Everybody's looking forward to that. Okay, so on Twitter on the 14th of December, sorry, folks, we got to go back that far, at Born to Eat Bacon tweeted us the excitedness over winning his Marvel Collector Core from the contest from us in the Villains box. So yes, thank you very much for tweeting that photo. It was amazing. His son is holding up the gains from that win. So that's pretty cool. And a friend of the cast at Andy Migna, he tweeted on the January 9th, rewatching mid-season finale, I noticed wooden stick Gemma used to get free was the one she suddenly pulled out after Bad Dream.
Huh.
Okay. I was going to ask you guys about it because I didn't really understand that, but Andy doesn't give bad stuff. So do you guys know what he's talking about?
Like, I guess when she had that bad dream, she like had a stick and she like, and then I guess she had the same stick later on. Like that she was using to defend herself.
Okay. Well, Andy usually gives us great emails about the Netflix series, but he got with me on a DM and said, just want to know when they're coming out because I'm not going to do them all together like I did with Daredevil. Yes, apparently we're not doing that either. So in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about it again. So go ahead and give us your email on episode 3. We will love to talk about it on our podcast.
We just got one like literally a minute ago from at Kodiak GWC where he asked us if we'd seen this. Apparently, according to Comic Book Resources, Jessica Jones averaged 4.8 million viewers per episode, according to NBC.
I wonder how that compares to Daredevil.
I think I remember hearing the number 11 million, I think.
Okay. It was still good. Again, I have to caveat this with there were 2 series that came out that weekend, Jessica Jones on Netflix and Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime. I have watched both series. Man in the High Castle is more my speed.
I haven't finished Man in the High Castle yet.
I haven't watched it at all.
But if you're looking for a new show to watch, go watch The Expanse on Sci-Fi. It's actually really good, and it's surprising the crap out of me. And I'm so worried that Sci-Fi is going to screw it up. But first 5 episodes that I've seen are amazing, so go watch that. Okay, so back over on YouTube, we got a comment from Narazanix. That's the wrong way to pronounce that, but I apologize for butchering your name.
We knew that because you said it that way.
Everybody's name. Okay. So anyway, Dead Ward will use Malik.
I would say Narayan TX.
Narayan TX. Okay. I should just learn to have you read this. Okay. Dead Ward will use Malik, maybe inoculate him. Lash will continue to do Lash stuff, hopefully. Y'all surprised me with the theory Fitz and Coulson were inoculated by it or no, it made it through the portal. Happy holidays. So thank you very much. That was very insightful. And we appreciate your comment. And we like all our comments. So the videos will go up on the Gonna Geek YouTube site, the videos from Blab. And there might be edited videos that go up on the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. YouTube site. But if you want to stay current, go over to the Gonna Geek website or YouTube site, and they will all be there. Okay. That is it for the feedback, unless you ladies have any more.
No.
All right, we'll walk this one out. Next week, we will be discussing Agent Carter, Season 2, Episode 1, and Season 2, Episode 2, The Lady in the Lake, and A View in the Dark. If you want to get a hold of us, we have a ton of ways to contact us. There's legendsofshield.com is our website that will take you to our webpage on the Gonna Geek website. We do have a voicemail line, 844-THE-BUS-1, 844-843-2871. We have a Facebook page, Twitter page. We have a Tumblr page, YouTube channel. And also don't forget about the forums that are on the Gonna Geek Network. And don't forget, we are on Spreaker as well. I've been getting some feedback on Spreaker, too, with various podcasts. So if you're listening to us there, give us a thumbs up and let us know that you are listening there. Now, we would love to hear from you. We really would. So go ahead and give us contact any of those ways about anything really Marvel related or Star Wars, because we'll talk Star Wars, too.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'd like to thank everybody who gets a hold of us on Twitter, everybody who follows along with the live tweets, everybody who followed along with last week's live tweet, even though that ended up being about a week too early because of issues that came up.
Yeah,
seriously, thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. We love hearing from you. Thank you for sending us news. Thank you for just tweeting us when you think about us. We love you guys.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone that came back after our long holiday break to hear us talk about Jessica Jones. No new Jessica Jones discussion next week because we're getting double Agent Carter. Yay.
Double AC. It's going to be great. And also, if you've been paying attention to the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. feed, we are posting our back episodes from Daredevil. It's almost done, and then we will go into a short X-Men arc. So those episodes will be coming out before the end, hopefully before the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this year. So I've been having fun with that. And if you have been enjoying those episodes, please let us know as well. We really appreciate that. So until next time, I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
And I'm Agent Lauren.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, go to gonnageek.com and you will find all of our contact information and other shows. You can also visit legendsofshield.com where you'll find our complete archive of podcasts. The music heard on this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent Legends, Stream, or Gonna Geek. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the property of the Disney Corporation. No infringement is intended.
Woohoo! Spreaker folks, thanks for staying with us, and we will see you next week.
Bye, Spreaker.
Bye.
And Mixler, I'm going to shut you guys off too. All right. Okay. If anybody wants to come in, this is now where we basically have our live calls. You're welcome to come on in.
I'm going to hop off early, though.
Okay.
So, okay. I got to go. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Lauren.
you.
So Haley and I will be glad to talk to you. Welcome to come on in. If not, we will probably get going too, because I'm guessing Haley has to work tomorrow and she's been tired since she ran. I was at the gym today.
I did a Jillian Michaels workout this morning too.
Oh, what's with the fitness stuff? Is it just a New Year's resolution?
Sort of, except I started it before New Year's.
Okay. I've been back to the gym, but then I got sick and I was back to the gym now too. So it's going to be interesting ramping up for the spring myself. Anyway, Boogity, if you're still there, I know Sean doesn't have a mic. And
talk to us about Marvel, Star Wars, or fitness.
Yeah, fitness is cool too. Khalid, you're welcome to come on board as well. So, Sean, I mentioned it before. I'll say it again. When Better Podcasting 10 comes out, you should really watch it or listen to it or whatever. You should. So, just a little hint there. Okay. How many times have you seen Star Wars, Haley?
Still just once.
Okay. I think I'm going to wait. I debated going a third time, but I thought, there's a lot of other stuff that I probably should do. I got The Martian in Blu-ray today, came in the mail today. Mm-hmm. So I will be watching that, hands down. That will happen tomorrow. I will be watching it. And I still haven't seen Jurassic World. I have the Blu-ray. I'm behind like 5 good movies. I have Mad Max. I haven't seen that either. So I'm like, do I really want to see Star Wars a third time, or do I want to just wait and see it on Blu-ray? So I think that's what I'm going to do.
At this point, that might be what I do too. I don't know. If I end up having some friends that are like, hey, let's go see a movie, that would probably be the one, because there's nothing else really that I want to see in theaters right now.
Well, in a couple of weeks, The Fifth Wave comes out, and I'm excited to see that. So I don't know if I'll see it the first weekend. I might wait because it's a January release. I might wait. And if it's crap, I won't do it.
I saw the trailer for that came on before Star Wars, and I was like, what is this one? Is this the new Independence Day movie? Oh, no, this is something else.
I know, but Independence Day looks good. I can't wait to see it. Even if it's a cheesy thing. That's what the original was, so no big deal.
Yeah. I expect it to be cheesy. Too bad Will Smith's not in it, but
I know.
Whatever.
I would have, given the Suicide or Squad or Independence Day, I would have taken Independence Day. I don't know what made him do that decision. Maybe they weren't giving him enough money. I don't understand. Really, I don't know why he wouldn't want to do that. So, but he didn't, and now his character is dead. And that's not a spoiler. That's on the website for the movie. So, he died in flight testing.
These things happen.
Apparently. Unless like the aliens kidnapped him and
made a clone.
Yeah, or something. We won't be seeing him again. What movie in 2016 besides Deadpool are you looking forward to the most?
Let's see. We've got Deadpool. Deadpool is the big one. What else is coming out? I'm looking forward to the X-Men one.
Yep.
Doctor Strange is coming out, but whatever.
Civil War.
Civil War I'm looking forward to a lot.
Yeah, if there is one movie that's going to flop out of the Marvel slate so far, I'm really curious if Doctor Strange is going to or not. I am not really excited to, but it's a Marvel movie and they haven't steered me wrong yet. So I kind of feel obligated to go. Plus, we have this podcast. So I think I'm going to go see it opening weekend. But I have concerns. And out of Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, this is my biggest concern out of those three. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Let me go to my post on the Gonna Geek Network. Rogue One, of course. That is...
Yeah, but it's going to be a while before that one comes out.
Yeah, that's December.
I'll get psyched for it when it gets closer.
All right. Warcraft. What's your feelings on Warcraft? I've heard...
I never really played the game, so...
No, and Lauren would be
I don't really
a big
have
Warcraft
opinions.
fan not because she played the game, but because of what's his name is in Vikings, Travis Fimmel.
Oh yeah. He's playing like the same character too. It looks like.
Yeah, right. So I would assume she'd be interested in that. The Finest Hours I just like because I like shipwrecks. Suicide Squad, Gambit.
Yeah.
So the ones I'm not interested, you'll be surprised. The ones I'm not interested in seeing, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, me either.
That's well known. Star Trek Beyond.
I didn't see the trailer.
You didn't
but
see the
I wasn't
trailer.
I wasn't thrilled with the last. Well, I know.
They yanked it.
But I know
Anyway,
everybody
you
watched it on the internet. But I wasn't thrilled with the last movie. And I'm not even a big Trek fan. I just didn't think it was a particularly good movie.
I am a huge Trek fan. I'm probably a bigger Trek fan than I'm a Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying a lot to see this trailer and go, y'all did something wrong somewhere. I don't know what it was, but y'all did something wrong. So you might as well sell to Disney because this stuff sucks. Disney can make it better. And then Ghostbusters 3. I am not interested in seeing.
I don't know.
And the reason why is because I watched Bridesmaid and the humor did not translate to me whatsoever. And it was
That's just because you have no joy in your life and you're dead inside.
That is not true. I laugh a lot. You know that. I just didn't get it. So
you're not really the target demographic though.
No, I'm not. So if it's the same sort of humor in Ghostbusters 3, which I'm told it is, then I'm not interested in seeing it.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
It is. Cajun Sean said the original Wrath of Khan is the best. Now, it was a good movie, and for a while I considered it my best, but I like 6. 6 is a really good movie, and that's The Undiscovered Country. I like that. And, of course, it was the last with the original cast as well. All right. Well, I'm guessing you have podcasts, plural, to go edit.
Yeah, but I'm probably just going to go to bed.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I got to work really early tomorrow. Boogity, I haven't heard from you in a while. If you're still around, thank you. Of course, Sean, thank you very much. Khalid, thank you very much. And we will see you next week, same time, same channel, where we'll be talking about Agent Carter. Anything else, Haley?
Mm-mm.
Wait for the camera. Bye.